there, thank you for coming today. We're going to do a gentle yoga class. I often call this my blended yoga class, which usually happens Fridays at 12:30 at the Oneonta Family YMCA in Oneonta, New York. It's basically a class that anyone can attend. It's good for any level, from beginner to intermediate to advanced. Depends on what you're looking for. This is, again, a gentler class. I really like to focus on form and pay attention to that so that we don't injure ourselves doing things, doing poses not quite the way they should be, which could cause muscle imbalances and injury from doing it incorrectly for long periods of time. So with that, we're going to take just a couple minutes to kind of settle in and relax. I'm just going to get my yoga block. If you are not familiar with a yoga block, this is what it is. You'll notice that the block has beveled edges on it, and it is really helpful for doing a seated posture, like when we're settling in, taking some deep breaths. It helps the hips open up a little bit more if they happen to be tight from lots of exercise, or maybe sitting at your computer desk way too much, or in your classroom far too long. So how you would use the yoga block is you simply just set it on the mat. And you're not going to sit on it like a chair. You're going to have a seat on your yoga block, very much finding your sits bones, which is the bony part of your butt, and you will place that right on the beveled edge. And what that does is it helps the hips open up a little bit more, so you can get that nice tripod, the knees coming closer to the floor, closer to the mat. And it helps you sit up a little bit taller. I find for myself what happens, because I do spend a lot of time at my computer desk, is if I do not have the yoga block, my knees come up a little bit further, and it's hard to get them to come down. And when I do, I end up hinging forward and rounding my shoulders, and my posture is very much off. So it's very helpful if we use this yoga block to give us just that little edge. And again, I'll show you from the sideways view what that looks like. Sliding forward, finding that bony part in my posterior. And I can go ahead and cross the legs, sitting up tall, and then just resting my hands on my knees. It helps me keep my spine straight and erect, helping to improve our posture from all those tasks we do throughout the day, causing us to round our shoulders, maybe doing on our phones, at our desk, even the work that we do, washing dishes, all kinds of different tasks we end up doing, and we kind of forget our posture a little bit. So with that, a little bit of instruction. And you can find yoga blocks in almost any store, and they're not terribly expensive. You can get them at Walmart for $5 or $6, and you can even get some that are more earth-friendly, made of cork, and a lot of people like those. They're a little more expensive. So with that, let's take just a couple moments to settle in and focus on our breath. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, sitting up tall, coming to a comfortable position, focusing on our breath, paying attention to our thoughts, just allowing the mind to settle in, to calm our thoughts, And don't worry if this seems to be difficult to do. Our minds wander constantly from one thought to another. And don't get stressed out trying to make your mind do nothing. Just allow those thoughts to enter like clouds floating across the sky, or maybe even like watching a film in front of you. And don't do anything to change the thoughts. You don't need to do anything about them right now. Just simply acknowledge their existence. Remember to sit up tall. Focus on your breath. Just breathe normally at this point. And while you're doing that, count how many seconds it takes for your inhale. And then how many seconds is your exhale. Try that again, just with a normal breath. Excellent. This time, we're going to try inhaling slowly to the count of 3. We'll start inhaling into the upper chest, into the middle chest, expanding the ribs, and then finally into the lower part of the lungs. It's going to cause the belly to come out. So we're going to count slowly, expanding that belly as far as it can go. And then we're going to exhale, making sure to press all the oxygen, expel all the oxygen from our lungs. All right, so go ahead and take a normal breath. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to begin counting. Take a nice deep inhale to the count of 1, 2, and 3. Expand that belly as far as it can go. Should feel oxygen and tightness in the low back. And then begin to exhale to the count of 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Notice how that makes you feel. Maybe a little more relaxed, a little more peaceful. Try again. This time we're going to make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Regular breath. And then begin. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Expand the belly as far as it can go. And then exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Pranayama practices are so good at helping us to relax and alleviate tension and stress when we're in a situation that we really have no control over. You can be sitting at your desk and be stressed out from work or something else that may be going on in your life. And if you just take control of your breath for a few moments, it kind of helps settle the mind, it calms the fluctuations of the mind, harnessing that energy or the prana in the body, just kind of getting it back under control. All right, let's take a nice deep inhale, circle sweep the arms overhead, exhale the arms down to the sides, inhale up and exhale down, inhale up and exhale down. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale up. And we're going to bring the left hand down, placing it on the mat, leaning over to the left, looking up at the crease in the elbow, or maybe up at the hand above you, depending on what's in your practice today. Beautiful. Come back to center. Bring the right hand down, leaning over to the right. Again, looking up at the crease in the elbow. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. The left hand comes down. Lean over to the left. Inhale to center. Lean over to the right, bringing the right hand down. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Draw hands to heart center. Beautiful. Excellent. Pause here just a moment. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms overhead, placing the left hand on the right knee. The right hand sweeps behind us, resting on the floor. Sit up tall with the exhale, rotate the torso, looking over the shoulder behind you. So it's the entire torso, not just the head. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. A very functional movement, one that's used for parallel parking. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Hands come together. Placing the right hand on the left knee, left hand sweeps behind us. Sit up tall, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, rotate the torso. Look over the shoulder behind you. Remember to be kind and gentle with your body. Each day of your practice is different. Some days are easier than others. Just keep moving. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Palms together. Drawing hands to heart center. Setting the intention of our practice to be kind and gentle with ourselves. To understand the difference between a stretch and pain, and realize that we should never feel pain in a stretch. And if we do, we back off. Just a bit. Beautiful. Gently bow. All right, we're going to come forward to all fours. So we're going to roll forward and set aside that yoga block. You may face this way on your mat. I am going to turn sideways simply so you can see the pose just a little bit better. We are going to warm up the spine with cat-cow. We want to make sure that the knees are directly under the hips and the hands are directly under the shoulders. Some of us have very flexible joints, and as you can see, end up doing something like this. We want to prevent that from happening today. When we're in this pose, we want to make sure that our elbows are relaxed, slightly bent, all right? And we want that nice straight line from the hip to the knee. We're working on cat-cow. Nice deep inhale. Let's roll the tailbone under, lift up with the navel, round the shoulders, and allow the head to come back as we come into cat pose. Inhale, roll the tailbone up, lift the gaze for cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. One more time. Exhale to cat. And inhale to cow. Beautiful. Meet in the center for table pose. Nice flat back. At this point, we're going to practice a little bit of spinal balance. This is going to challenge our stability in our pose. I'm going to turn to face the camera. When we are doing these poses, we want to make sure that we have 3 to 4 inches between the knees. that the knees are directly under the hips. The reason for this is it provides a wider base of support for us, okay? And it's going to help us balance a little bit better. It's going to improve our stability in this pose. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the other side of this pose. Again, the hands are directly under the shoulders, fingers spread apart, knees directly under the hips. Nice deep inhale, extending opposite arm, opposite leg. So the left hand comes out, right leg comes out behind us. And at this point, we want to make sure that the foot is no higher than the hip, okay? The foot is flexed, toes pointed towards the floor. The arm is no higher than the shoulder, thumb pointed towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back to center. Knee comes to the floor, hand comes to the floor. Opposite arm comes out, so the right arm comes out, left foot goes back. The foot is no higher than the hip, the arm is no higher than the shoulder. Exhale to center. Inhale, switch. Engage the abs. Exhale to center. Inhale, switch. 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 Exhale to center. Another thing to be mindful of is when you extend out, make sure that foot that's on the floor behind you, the top of the foot is flat on the mat. If you flex the foot, it's going to make you just a little more unstable. So go ahead and press that foot, the top of the foot flat on the floor. Excellent work, good job. All right, from here, we are going to come to center. Go ahead and grab a quick sip of water. If you brought your water with you today, if you did not, I encourage you to do so for our next practice. All right, so at this point, we're going to roll the toes under, lift the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. We're going to gently pedal the feet. I'm going to turn sideways on this mat so you can see what that looks like. Gently pedal the feet. The ears are resting between the biceps. Focus on your breath. There's no sense rushing. Take your time. Beautiful. Allow your body to really get into that stretch, taking it easy. Excellent. The tip of the tailbone should look like the tip of an inverted V. So you may need to bring your arms a little bit closer or your feet just a little bit closer. Press through with the chest, retract the shoulders down away from the ears. And it's okay if your feet do not touch the floor. Be patient with yourselves. It's perfectly fine. Maybe you'd have a little better luck taking a little micro step forward. Beautiful. Excellent work. Nice job. All right. And then from here, we're going to take little tiny baby steps forward, walking the hands towards the feet. We're just going to allow the head to hang, allow the shoulders to hang at this moment. And we're going to work on a forward fold. Forward fold means that the hands are going to come to the mat, palms as flat as they can be. We want the palms flat on the mat. In order to do so, we may need to bend our knees right now, and that's okay. This is called gorilla pose. Just keep those hands flat, and as you're feeling a little more comfortable, straighten the legs as much as you can. Allow the head to hang. Nice deep breaths. If you cannot get your hands flat on the mat, feel free to use a yoga block. You can rest your hands on that yoga block. The knees can remain slightly bent. And we'll begin the sequence. Inhale up halfway, hands mid-shins. Exhale, forward fold, either to the block or the mat, whatever your practice desires. Inhale, roll up, circle, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale the arms down, forward fold, hands to the block or the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Circle, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale up, halfway. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Circle, sweep the arms over the head. Exhale the arms out and behind us. Clasp the hands together against the lower back. Focus on your breath. Bring your feet apart, a little wider than hips width. Okay? We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and with the exhale, hinge, forward fold, lifting the arms as far away from the body as we can. Press through with the chest. Take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. And then release the arms. Again, you can be facing forward. We're just going to simply sway from side to side, allowing the fingers to trace the letter C along the mat. Excellent. Release tension in the low back. This feels so nice. Beautiful. Excellent job. Come to center. We're going to gently nod the head yes, and gently shake the head no. Inhale, roll up. Pause where chin meets chest. And then circle, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale the arms down to the sides. Good job. All right. So at this point, we are going to come to the long edge of our mat. There's a long edge and the short edge of our mat. This is the short edge. This edge is the long edge. So you will probably have your mat this way. So you're going to turn towards the long edge of your mat. If you need, you may place your yoga block in front of you on the mat. So nice deep inhale. And with the exhale, let's hinge, forward fold, and we're hip hinging. That means hinging right here, not just rounding the shoulders and coming forward. So nice hip hinge, exhale, come forward. You may rest your hands on the mat or the yoga block, wherever your body directs you to be today. Focus on your breath. And just hang out here for a moment in this wide straddled stance. I am going to turn this way so you might be able to see kind of how this should look a little bit better. Excellent. Focus on your breath. Feel a stretch through the legs, possibly in the inner thighs. And at this point, we're going to take a nice deep inhale. With the exhale, we're going to bend the left knee and shift to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend the right knee, shifting to the right. Now those of us who are more advanced may be able to sink down a little bit further. That's perfectly fine. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Keep the head lifted slightly. Exhale in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Good work. Get that nice stretch in the inner thighs. Place the right hand along the center line of the body. Inhale up with the left hand, rotate the torso, open up the chest, getting a nice rotation of the spine, keeping flexibility in the spine. Hand comes back down to the mat. Inhale upright, exhale down. Inhale up left, exhale down. Inhale up right, exhale down. Inhale up left, exhale down. One more time each side. Inhale upright, exhale down. Inhale up left, and exhale down. Beautiful. Place both hands on the mat. We're going to turn the toes in, kick the heels out, changing up the dynamics of this stretch a bit. You may feel it in the outer thigh or the medial glutes. Focus on your breath. Beautiful. I'm going to turn sideways again. You may stay right where you are. I'm turning sideways just so you can see how the next variation of this pose looks, or the progression rather. From here, maybe this is exactly where you need to be today. Maybe you wish to progress on to the next level. You may just start out by doing so, placing your forearms on the yoga block in front of you. Press back into the hips. Feel a nice deep stretch as we come into this inversion pose. Maybe you can bring your forehead, or the top of your head rather, to the mat or to the yoga block. Bringing your arms out to the side a little bit with the elbows bent. Beautiful. Providing a little extra support for the neck. And then pressing yourselves back up. Inversion poses are very helpful when we're feeling irritated or stressed, and we need to change our perspective. When we're down here on our head, or maybe on our forearms, we're certainly looking at the world from another perspective. Beautiful. Let's begin to heel toe the feet towards one another. And when we get to a point, I'm going to turn from here so you can see the elbows should be resting on the inside of the shins. Okay? We're going to sink the hips down low. Go ahead, allow the feet to turn out just a bit. As we come into yogi squat, sit up tall. Excellent. Feel the hips open up. You can also use your yoga block for a little extra support if you're not feeling comfortable there or you're experiencing too much pressure in your knees. Keep in mind that if your feet are farther apart, you're going to be able to get them flat on the mat, and that is very important to help protect your arches and the bottom of your feet. Beautiful. If you don't need this block, that's perfectly fine. Beautiful. Place your hands on the mat. Let's lift the hips up, forward fold. And then begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Circle, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale the arms down to the sides. Good work. How's everybody feeling? Good? All right. Go ahead and grab a sip of water. And we will begin our warrior practice. Our warrior sequence. I'm going to turn this way. You may continue to stand at the top edge of your mat, okay, facing this direction. But I'm going to turn this way just so we can focus on form here. I'm coming to the top edge of my mat. I'm going to take a giant step back with the left foot. All right, at this moment we're going to focus on being centered. We want to find where we are. We want to make sure that our torso is lined up directly between the front foot and the back foot, that our weight is evenly distributed between the front foot and the back foot. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to bend that front knee. And we're sinking down in the middle. We're not lunging forward, we're sinking down in the middle. And we want to maintain a good straight line from that knee to the ankle. The reason for that is, if we are lunging forward and we have a diagonal in that shin bone from the knee to the ankle, we're putting too much pressure on the knee because all our weight is shifted forward. We want to come back to center. It's almost like we're ripping the mat apart, okay? Now we're going to rotate the torso to line up with the front knee. And then we're going to sweep the arms out wide. And they don't have to be overhead. There's nothing wrong with that. That's more advanced. We don't have to arch back, but we can if we can do that, if that is in our practice. If we're just beginning, let's go ahead and keep the arms out wide. Now turn this way so you can see what I mean by wide. Another thing to focus on is we want to make sure that that knee is directly over the ankle in front of us. Sometimes we don't realize it, but the knee collapses inward. So make sure we have a straight line from the knee over the ankle and it's directly over top of that ankle. Good job. Arms out wide. I'm going to turn sideways again so you can see how we progress to warrior two. Turning to the side. Rotate the torso, keep the feet and knee locked. Nothing has changed. We've just simply gone from this to this. We're going to turn the front palm up, reach up and over, resting the hand on the leg behind us. Looking up at the hand above us. Inhale, come forward, rest the elbow on the front knee. Top arm is directly above the shoulder. Let's take that top arm at a diagonal for a side angle stretch. I'm sorry I have my back to you at this point, but we will do the other side. Inhale back to center. Let's straighten the front leg, resting the hand on the shin for Trikonasana or triangle pose. You may look at the foot. You may look at the side wall. Or you may look up at the hand above you. Now your bottom hand can also rest on the mat if that is in your practice. Beautiful. Bring that top hand down. We're going to frame out the front foot. Focus on the breath. Excellent. Nice deep inhale. And with the exhale, go ahead, bring that forehead a little bit closer to the knee in front of you. And it's okay if your forehead cannot touch the knee. The idea is to really just keep that leg straight. Work on that stretch in the hamstrings. Beautiful. Go ahead, bend that front knee, resting the rib on the thigh. We're going to turn the back foot straight up and down. And we're going to drop that back knee to the mat. Place the top of the foot flat on the mat. Inhale up as we find ourselves lunging forward just a bit to get a nice stretch in the psoas muscle and our hip flexors. We want to press that hip, the open hip, towards the floor, getting a nice deep stretch. And then shifting back, place the hands flat on the mat to assist you in getting down. Shifting back, flex that front foot. Focus on the breath. Inhale deeply. And with the exhale, let's hinge forward as far as our body will allow. And try to keep the shoulders from rounding. Flex that front foot. And if we can't come forward very far, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's about the journey. It's about being patient with ourselves. We're often not patient with ourselves. Inhale deeply, and if it is in your practice, go ahead and hinge forward and let the shoulders Round, allow the head to come forward. Allow your hands to rest wherever they comfortably fall. Maybe it's just a little farther down on the shin. Maybe it's the ankle. Maybe it's the bottom of the foot. Maybe you can place your forearms on the mat. That's perfectly fine. Beautiful. Place your hands on the mat. Come forward into that kneeling position. And we're going to place the left hand on the inside of the right foot. We're going to rotate the torso, open up the chest. Focus on the breath. Beautiful. Bring that top hand down. We're going to place the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Let's go ahead and rotate the torso, open up the chest. If you're more advanced and you can extend that leg out behind you, feel free to do so. And bring that top hand down. Good job. Roll the toes under, lift the hips up. And we can either step forward or back. We'll step back with that foot. Beautiful. Let's come into downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Make sure the hands are directly under the shoulders. Gently lower for chaturanga. Elbows right into the ribs. And you can come down to the mat if you'd like to, lifting up for baby cobra. Roll the toes under, shift back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Gently lower for chaturanga. Pause briefly and lift for up dog. Shifting back to extended child's pose. Bring your knees out wide. Allow the ribs to rest between the thighs. The forehead resting on the mat. Beautiful. Allow yourselves a moment of rest. Inhale, come forward to all fours. Let's roll the toes under, shift, lift the hips up. And this time we're going to inhale up with that left leg and step forward. Placing, go ahead, assist if you need to. Placing that foot between the hands. Drop the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Make sure our weight is evenly distributed between the front and back foot. Inhale up. Warrior one. Beautiful. Focus on the breath. And then turn to the side. Warrior two. Reach out through the fingertips. Gaze out over the hand in front of you. Make sure the arms are shoulder height. Gaze over the fingers and back of you. Shoulder height. Rotate the front palm up. Reach up and over, resting the hand on the leg behind us. Looking up at the crease in the elbow for peaceful warrior. Inhale forward, rest the elbow on the front knee. Top arms directly over the shoulder for modified triangle or Trikonasana. Note your alignment. Front knee is bent, knee over ankle. Top arm comes over the ear. Side angle stretch. Keep the hips down low. Inhale the arm over the shoulder, straighten the front leg, placing the hand on the shin, foot, or yoga mat for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Beautiful job. Bring the top hand down, frame out the front foot as we come into pyramid pose. Inhale deeply with the exhale. Attempt to rest the forehead on the knee in front of you. And again, it's okay if your forehead doesn't get there. Let's go ahead and bend that front knee. Resting the ribs on the thigh. Turn the back foot straight up and down. Bring that back knee to the mat. Top of the foot is flat on the mat. From here, we're going to lunge forward. Getting a nice stretch in the hip flexors. Again, press that open hip towards the mat. Working on the psoas muscles. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to shift back for runner stretch. Place your hands on the mat. Settle in. Focus on your breath. Flex that front foot. Beautiful. Nice job. Inhale deeply, and with the exhale, let's walk the hands forward. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Try to keep the shoulders from rounding. Maybe you can't come forward as far as you'd really like to. That's okay. Keep that front foot flexed. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. And with the exhale, go ahead, hinge forward, round the shoulders. Allow your hands to land wherever they comfortably fall. The shin, the ankle, maybe you can reach the bottom of your foot. Beautiful. Place your hands on the mat. Let's come forward. Slide that front foot back. Oh, actually, let's keep that front foot forward. We're going to place the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Inhale up, rotate the torso, open up the chest. Beautiful. Again, if you're more advanced, bring that top hand down. You can extend that leg behind you up. You can lift the knee off the floor. And then we're going to place the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Rotate the torso, open the chest. And bring that top hand down. Bring the knee to the mat. Slide the front foot back. Bring the knees out wide. Big toes touching. Sinking back to extended child's pose. You can rest your forehead on your hands in a 1 potato, 2 potato style, if that is more comfortable for you. Or you may reach out with the arms in front of you, resting your forehead on the mat. Sitting back on your heels as much as you can. Nice deep breaths. Beautiful. Excellent work. Now we're going to walk our hands back to center. Draw the knees together. Have a seat on your right hip. We're going to swing the legs forward. We're going to bend that left knee. Wrap our arms around. And then we're going to take the right elbow, placing it on the outside of the left knee. Reach back with the left hand. Inhale deeply with the exhale. Rotate the torso. Look over the shoulder behind you. Flex the foot. Toes pointed towards the ceiling of the extended leg. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Let's switch sides. We're going to bend the right knee. Right hand comes behind us. Left elbow to the outside of the left knee. Focus on the breath. Inhale deeply with the exhale. Rotate the torso. Look over the shoulder behind you. Beautiful. Excellent. Release. Come back to center. Let's go ahead, bend the knees. We're going to work on a little bit of bridge pose. Gently recline down. Now there are some conditions that this may not be good for. If you have any neck issues, this may not be a good pose for you. So feel free just to stay right here with your knees bent. But walk those feet in a little bit closer to the posterior. Relax the neck and shoulders. And for those at a beginner level, maybe sliding the yoga block underneath the hips. This can serve as your bridge pose today until you become more comfortable with this posture. You're going to get a nice stretch through the front of the body. You can feel the quads engage a bit. For those of us who can progress on to the next level, take a nice deep inhale, feet pressed firmly into the floor. Scoop under with the pelvis, press up with the hips. Inhale, gently lower back down to the earth. Exhale, scoop under, press up. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Focus on the breath. Gently lower down. Exhale, scoop under, press up. Inhale, gently lower down. Exhale, scoop under, press up. Inhale, gently lower down. Beautiful. Let's walk the feet together, the feet and knees together, extending the arms out wide. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to allow the knees to fall to the left, fall to the right, looking over the left shoulder. For a nice spinal twist, it's very important to keep our spine flexible. And we not only bend forward and backward to some degree, but we also need that spinal rotation. Inhale deeply, engage the abs, and draw the knees and chin back to center. With the inhale, allow the knees to fall in the opposite direction. Beautiful, looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale deeply. With the exhale, engage the abs, draw the knees to center. Beautiful job. Bring the arms alongside the body. Let's draw one knee at a time towards the chest. Tucking in the chin a bit, holding underneath the knees. If you have the flexibility, maybe it's better for you to reach around the knees. Either way is correct. It's whatever is working best for you today. Now we're going to gently rock from side to side, massaging the fascia in the lower back, helping to keep it supple, helping to prevent injury. Beautiful. Now we're going to drop that right foot to the floor, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Take a nice deep inhale, and with the exhale, let's draw the right knee toward the chest, holding underneath that knee for support. Tuck the chin as though you're holding a ball underneath the chin. Flex the feet to protect the knees. Getting a nice stretch in the glutes. Beautiful. Release. Place the feet on the floor and switch sides. We've got the right ankle on the left knee. Inhale deeply. With the exhale, let's lift that left knee towards the chest. Tuck the chin. Flex the feet. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Place the feet on the floor. And then we're going to go ahead and extend the full length of our mat as we prepare for progressive relaxation and Shavasana. Let's gently wiggle the fingers and toes. Close the eyes. Excellent. Let's relax the body as much as possible. And then with the eyes closed, we're going to relax the toes, feet, ankles, shins, calves, knees, quads, hamstrings, glutes, and hips. Inhale deeply and exhale, giving thanks to the body for bringing us to practice today. Relax the lower abs, the lower back, the ribs, lats, chest, trapezius, and rhomboid muscles. Inhale deeply, expanding the belly as far as it can go. And exhale, release, allow the belly to come to rest softly. Giving thanks to the body for supporting us during our practice today. Relax the fingers, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, and shoulders. Inhale deeply and exhale. Giving thanks to our body for supporting us and embracing our practice today. Inhale deeply and exhale. Relaxing the neck and throat, gently turn the head to the left. Inhale back to center. Gently turn the head to the right. Inhale back to center. Relax the jaw, allowing the tongue to rest comfortably in the mouth. Relax the cheeks, eyes, brow, forehead, and crown. Inhale deeply and exhale. Allowing the body to release, allowing the muscles to feel heavy as though they are beginning to melt with the floor. Today we imagine ourselves in a canal, floating along the water in a gondola. Buildings on either side of the canal. The sun is setting in the distance. As we glide along, we notice all of the buildings and the architecture. We notice lights along the canal beginning to come on, turning on to light up the pathway. We notice people walking along the sidewalks. Laughing, talking with one another. We come to a bridge, a nice arched bridge over the canal. We gently drift underneath. And as we come out the other side, we notice some ducks swimming along the canal. A mama duck with her babies, and they gently chatter to one another. little gentle peeps as the mama duck quacks to them to hurry along. Taking a nice deep inhale, expanding the belly. We take in the fragrances around us. We smell food wafting in from the restaurants along the canal. Garlic, pasta, seafood. We notice a table outside the restaurant filled with people laughing, enjoying each other's company, toasting one another as we hear the glasses clink. It makes us smile, realizing how important family and friends are, as well as human connection. And as we drift along, the sun has fallen behind the horizon, below the horizon, and the first stars of the evening twinkle above. As we glide up to the dock, and we pause for a moment before disembarking, giving thanks for this opportunity to practice together, enjoying this visit to the faraway land. Bringing our awareness back to this room, we gently wiggle the fingers and toes. And then gently rolling to one side, bending our knees, resting our head on our arm. Just enjoying these last few moments of relaxation. And then placing our hands on the mat or the floor, pressing ourselves up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that may be for us today. Maybe it's sitting on our heels, maybe it's sitting on our posterior in a cross-legged position. Lengthen through the spine, drawing hands to heart center, thumbs touching the heart. Begin to gently flutter the eyes open, bowing to our classmates. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Until next time.